Once again, I'm going to take you back in time to 1990. Actually 1989, 30 years ago. Editing. Editing has changed quite a bit, you know. Today, I have my computer, I can edit, I have my cameras, I can do my own shooting. But back then, you had to go into a professional editing suite and work on 1-inch tape. And this is in Check 6 Studios, and what I'm doing is I'm just showing you a little bit about what these suites looked like back then, as well as how young I was back then. And we're also going to, show you a little bit about what it was like at Wilf Rock. Now we have two people here who are playing fish, and the first thing you're going to do when you see this video is say, hey, these people should be using life jackets. And that's one of the problems a lot of times with small boats, is people do not wear life jackets, and you can go in the water pretty quickly, as you can tell with these people playing this fish. But anyways, 30 years ago, on Gary Cooper's fishing diary, out at Wilf Rock, I caught these three people playing a doubleheader.
Well, surprise, surprise. Here all this time you always think that you're going to see me out on the water every single time you watch the fishing diary. Well, it just doesn't happen that way. As a matter of fact, I'd say that for every 1 hour we spend out shooting fishing shows, we spend 6 hours in studios like this editing the shows for you. But you know what happens? When we end up shooting these shows, it's not just me catching fish. A lot of times we see other people out in the water, and there's some very interesting stories that develop from that. So what I've decided to do today is to bring you into the studio, ask John to operate the editing equipment, and we're going to show you some little interesting tidbits that I'm sure will really surprise you. Now, the first one is with Tim and Nairi Lord. Now, Tim and Nairi Lord had just gotten married, and believe it or not, this was their honeymoon. Tim is a teacher, and what they had done is they had invited a friend, Laurie Anton, to go fishing with them. The first time that I saw them on the water, and you'll see this, they held up their first fish, and it was about an 8-pound coho. The next time I saw them, they had on 2 springs over 30 pounds. You want to roll to VTR 10, and we'll show you this. There's Nairi right there. She's just holding up that nice spring. So that's her first spring. The next time we look at them, look what's happening. We've got two people, and they've got a double header. These are big fish. You can imagine what it's like when you're in a swell like this. Those swells are ranging about 4 feet. As a matter of fact, that sound you hear in the background is the surf pounding. Well, that fish is pretty well ready for the net. There's only one problem. Their leader's too long. If you'll notice, you cannot reel that weight through the eyes. That's Nairi there in the pink hat. Now, Tim is just beside himself back there. He wants that fish in the net because he's holding another fish at the back. Oh, yeah. Tim can't take it any longer. He's going to let Nairi hold the rod. Meanwhile, Nairi's finished. She's saying, come on, somebody get the net. You have to really be careful when you're in a boat like this, especially with 3 people in a surf like that. If you get thrown over the side, mind you, there's a lot of boats around. You could be hauled out of the water pretty quick, but it's not that comfortable. Oh, geez, he took a nice dive for it there, and he missed the fish. You don't get too many opportunities on big fish to throw a net at them like that. Oh, listen to Nairi in the background. She's coaching Laurie. She's saying, "That a girl." Meanwhile, she's holding on to her fish back at the stern of the boat. I just love the way everyone's coaching each other in this boat and going around and around in circles. We're having problems with our camera too right at this point. If you can hear a faint little beeping sound, that's actually the camera telling our operator that we're getting low on power, but we don't want to shut off the cameras because we don't want to miss them bringing in this double header. When you think about it, Tim is really lucky here because, you know, what could happen are those fish could want to go in the very same direction or even head off toward another boat's lines, and then they'd really be in trouble. Be careful, Laurie. Laurie's showing there. She's got a lot of spunk. She's pretty strong arms. She's holding, look at the size of that fish. Whoa! Yeah, they got it in. Nice fish. Now all we got to do is get in Nairi's. She's holding it well. You can tell she's caught fish before. Whoa! How about that? A double header. They always yell Rambone. I think that's the name of their boat. Well, to Nairi and Tim Lord, I'll tell you, for this being your honeymoon, congratulations, and I hope you have a lot more trips like that.